Hey guys, what is up? My name is Sybil and I have been living in Brazil for a little over 2 years now. Anyways, today I'm going to be telling you guys how I became an actual resident of Brazil. Strap in, because it's a long one. If you're thinking about moving to another country, please do your research. Please do your research and make sure you have all proper documentation with you so you don't have to travel back to your original country to get things, I don't know, processed. I don't know. Anyways, so I moved here in September of 2019. And yeah, sorry. I moved here in September of 2019. And the first thing that I did was I registered for a CPF. A CPF here in Brazil is similar to like an American's social security number, okay? But the difference, like the huge difference is they use this CPF for literally everything. Like say your like okay, so your social security number that we have in America, we only use it for legal documentations, opening a credit card, banks, legality things, right? Contractual things, right? Here, they use it for pretty much anything, like setting up an account with iFood, which is similar to your Uber Eats, right? You put in your CPF. You put in your CPF if you say you're shopping at a store and you want to make a return or an exchange or anything. In order for them to keep tabs on you, they ask for your CPF. So it's like your number, your name, your number kind of thing. It's really crazy because like for an American, it's like, whoa, we don't give this out to anybody. We don't even give it out to our relatives. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really crazy for that. But anyways, that process was pretty easy. The only thing we had issues with is when I first got it, it wasn't working. I couldn't sign up for iFood. I couldn't sign up for Amazon, whatever. Small problems. Nothing huge. Anyways, I just use my fiance's CPF. It's okay. But anyways, so in order to do that, all you have to do is fill out some paperwork. So bring with you your passport, your birth certificate, and I'm pretty sure I had to have my mother's birth certificate. I don't really think they cared about my father's until like we did the whole process of getting married. So in order for you to become a resident here in Brazil, there needs to be like three things. I can't remember one of the things, but there needs to be like three things. Either you have a child with that native person from here in Brazil. 2, you're married. And 3, I think it has something to do with like work related, like not visa, but like work related stuff. I'm not 100% sure. So not the best information, I guess. Anyways, so in order to start this process, we knew that we had to get married. We were already engaged, so it wasn't really like, oh, we have to get married. It wasn't like that. It was, we already wanted to. It just kind of happened a little quicker than we initially thought would happen. Anyways, so what we had to do was get my CPF. I also applied for extensions, but I'm pretty sure we did that online. I don't really remember going anywhere to do that. But we applied for extensions for my stay twice. So I think I was able to stay, the first time is 90, so 180 days. I was way over past that whenever we were in the process of getting married. So again, like I said, the CPF was super easy, super quick to get. The next thing we needed to do was make sure we had all documentations translated. Sorry, that's the word I was trying to look for. We had to make sure all documentation, like US documentation, was translated into Portuguese, so we had to find a translator for that. No problem, found one. Awesome. And she was super helpful with everything, was awesome. Anyways, so did that. And then we went on to get married. We got married March of 2020. So like I said, I moved here September of 2019, and it took September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 7 months. It took 7 months for us to actually get married. So the whole process and everything. I mean, he was working at a like typical 9 to 5 job, and government buildings are usually 9 to 5, if less hours than that. So it was pretty difficult to find the right times to be able to go and do these things. But then also the government here takes a little bit longer to process things. I feel like the government back home, you can do a lot of things online, like set up appointments and blah, blah, blah. Whereas here we had to go all the way downtown, which was anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour to get there and back, or an hour there, an hour back, type thing. And then standing in line, there's so many people waiting and doing these just different processes. I feel like for the whole entirety of the thing, we probably went to 10 different government buildings. It was insane. Anyway, so I got to see a little bit of Rio, which was beautiful, of course. I got to see the actual city of Rio de Janeiro, which was beautiful. Because we still live in Rio de Janeiro, but it's huge. People don't really realize how big Rio is, and we kind of live on almost the outskirts of it, I guess. Anyways, so I got my CPF, and then the next thing to do was to get married. So I had to get all of my documentation. So I had my parents send me, this is the part that I was telling you about, I had my parents send me because I need original copies. That was the issue. I needed original copies of birth certificates and all this stuff. So it was, or notarized, had to be notarized, type thing. So there was a lot of process that went into that, and waiting, because the postal service to get things here is a very long process as well. Just takes a long time. Anyway, so I received the documentation, fill out forms, go to, probably at this point we're at 6 different government buildings, filling out different forms, turning it in, waiting for the call that it's been approved, going back there and then retrieving it. They won't mail you anything. So you have to go and get it yourself whenever it's done. And they don't call you either. Like, you have to call them and keep up on them. Like, it's great. Anyways, so it took about 7 months for us to actually get married. And then after it was crazy. So after all the processes that we did, we're at this little courthouse, which is super cute. But we're at this little courthouse, and it's nothing like back home. Like, I don't know how it is anywhere else, honestly, because it's not like I searched it. But usually courthouses are like standalone buildings. Where I'm from, it's a standalone building, Here, it's like in an outdoor mall. So there's multiple stores and shops around you, many people walking everywhere, and they all schedule it for the same day. I think it was Tuesdays and Thursdays they married people, and I think our wedding was on a Thursday. Yeah. And there was just women out front, like, I want to say probably 10 of them. Probably 10 plus their families, all in white dresses, blah, blah, blah. Just funny, just different, So we waited for our names. Well, before this, though. So we went in, got all the documentations signed and approved and in the system, right? Filed and everything, right? We leave. And they're like, yeah, we'll call you with your wedding appointment, blah, blah, blah. We're like, okay, cool. A week goes by and we don't hear anything. So we're just like, maybe we should give them a call. So we give them a call on Monday, okay? And they go, oh yeah, your wedding's scheduled for this Thursday. So, and at the time, I literally just dyed my hair blue for a TikTok video, or a TikTok live that I was on. So I had blue hair. So in my mind, I was like, I would have blue hair for my wedding. But also in my mind, I was like, something blue, right? It was tradition. But anyways, stupid. But yeah, so the day of my wedding, or our wedding, I videoed my family because it's not enough time for them to get here. They're all entrepreneurs, so there was just no way, it was just, we kind of already knew that there wasn't going to be a possibility for my family to be here, with us, but still kind of sucked that I couldn't even give them proper time to even, if they wanted to surprise or do anything, to come down here and be here with me. But anyway, so I called them the day of and showed them, they already kind of knew my dress and everything, but showed them my dress and, happy, good luck, blah, 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 love you. And then we went on our way. I have a video of us actually in the courthouse going upstairs, up the little stairs to the judge and everything. I will post that if I can find it. And we had our translator there. We had witnesses. His mom was a witness, and then also the car repair guy that was at their work was one of our witnesses as well. So it was all 5 of us plus a judge. And so he proposed with this ring, but before this we're like, we need wedding bands, So we were actually shopping one day where his father's barber shop is, and we passed this little store. It was kind of similar to like a Claire's, okay, back home. And we saw this like table of rings like you normally see with just rings all over it, and we found bands that looked similar to each other, and they were each 5 reais. So we got $2 rings or $1 rings, and that's what we used to get married. And the judge goes through her whole thing, the translator's translating everything, and said I do, kissed each other, signed a document, and we were married. It was kind of surreal how quick it all kind of just happened. It wasn't like a traditional wedding. We didn't have the long, everything of a traditional wedding. It's a little different. But anyways, so and afterwards after we got married, we took pictures. They have this like little green wall outside where everybody that got married is taking pictures and everything with their family. It was super cute. Anyways, and then after that, we went back home and my fiance went back to work. That was, it was during the week. He had a job, you know what I mean? But anyways, so after this got completed, we needed to go ahead and translate the marriage license, of course, naturally for me, for the United States. But that really wasn't anything to help me be a resident. But anyway, so we have these papers, we have birth certificates, we have all these things. So, so the next thing we needed to do was apply for my RNE. And RNE is like a residential card. So there's also 3 other things you can apply for. One, I think, is like your work visa, student visa, stuff like that, which didn't apply for me. The second one is the RNE, which is what I was doing. And the third one was like dual citizenship, to where I would get an actual like Brazilian passport. We asked the federal police there, because that's what you needed to do to get your RNE. We asked the federal police there, and they were like, honestly, the best bet is to go for the RNE. It takes less time, yada, yada, yada. So we're like, sounds good. We'll do that, We kind of were just taking everybody's advice because we didn't know anything, Anyway, so we got married, and then we went to the federal police. They looked at all of our documentation. I messed up on a document, no problem. But we had to go redo some stuff, no problem. So it took a little bit more time. And then I finally got my RNE, I want to say, we got married in March, probably May or June. I finally got my RNE, which allowed me to travel and not have a fee. So like I said, I had those extensions, right? I had the first one, which is 90 days, and then the second one was another 90 days. So I had a total of 180 days of an extension, but I was past that. So what happens is, if you're past that, every single day, every day that you go past it is a certain amount of money, which at this moment I was racking up some money. I was racking up some fees. So there was no way I was able to travel at all without getting this card. So now I'm able to travel wherever I want, freely come back and stay as long as I want. I think I still have to renew it. I don't know when it expires, but it's similar to an ID. It looks like an ID. Can't drive with it, but it's similar to an ID. You can actually drive, like I can drive here with my Missouri license. Like I don't have to get an actual driver's license here. But anyways, so I got this little card and I was finally Brazilian. And yeah, It took a long time, but it is so worth it being able to live in another country. And if anybody out there is looking to move to another country, it's not as easy as people make it seem, but it is worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed this and come back tomorrow for my next video. Bye. See you guys.